What's up everyone, welcome to Stockton. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. On this channel, we talk about stocks before they start blowing up, say goodbye to chasing stocks at all-time highs, and say hello to making some money. So if this sounds like something you want to take advantage of, then hit that beautiful subscribe button and like the video. Now let's get to it. Before we get into the video, I have to say that I'm not a financial advisor. Anything I say is just my opinion and is for entertainment purposes only. Having said that, if I'm talking about a company, I'll let you know whether I'm personally going to invest in it or not towards the end of the video. But you should always do your own due diligence, so with that out of the way, let's get started.
The last couple of months have not been kind to the stock market in general, and BNGO was no exception. When a penny stock rises from 70 cents and goes all the way up to $15 in just a matter of days, it's just as likely that the fall downward will also be quite dramatic. This is because BNGO did not have time to build any support as it moved up in price. But there is one big catalyst coming up next week that should have a positive impact on the share price. BNGO is going to be presenting findings from a study at the American Association for Cancer Research. Bionano's spotlight presentation is titled Optical Genome Mapping, Unrivaled Structural Variation Detection for Cancer Research and Precision Medicine. This presentation is scheduled for the 14th of April from 1 to 2 p.m. So why is this a big deal? Well, you see, the American Association for Cancer Research, or AACR for short, is the world's largest professional association devoted to cancer research, and their annual conference attracts more than 21,000 participants from around the world. BNGO's presentation will focus on multiple studies on the detection of structural variants using Bionano's optical genome mapping, and will also include a spotlight presentation. The conference will significantly increase Bionano's brand awareness and will serve as an excellent way to further educate the global cancer research community on what their product does. We've already seen that saphyr is now being used in Europe, and recently they've expanded into Africa. So this will further increase their visibility and will help them expand their reach and expand into other countries. We can already expect that the result from the findings will be extremely good. This is because these presentations are typically only made in cases where the company has very positive developments to report on. But now, I want to discuss something that nobody's really talking about. There is a push that's happening at the government level in all countries that will benefit BNGO in a massive way. Check this out. In the UK, the government is going to categorize what countries its citizens are allowed to travel to without having to hotel quarantine on their return. And one of the factors that will determine if a country is free of the quarantine rule is the level of genomic sequencing that's available in the country that the person is traveling to. Mr. Schaap said countries would be categorized based on levels of infections, vaccinations, variants of concern, and the quality of their genetic sequencing. So this is really interesting. All countries will have their own set of rules, but there is no doubt that the countries that have the best genomic sequencing ability will be the easiest to travel to. Therefore, there is an added incentive for countries around the world to up their game when it comes to genomic sequencing and also structural variation detection. And this should help BNGO in the quest for global expansion. Now, we know that gene sequencing is different from optical genome mapping, but you can't have one without the other when it comes to COVID. Because each individual reacts to the virus differently, and when you add in multiple strains on top of this complexity, it becomes even more difficult to predict which individuals are going to be the most high risk, and this is where BNGO comes into play. This is the study that outlines BNGO's benefit here perfectly. COVID-19 Host Genome SV Consortium identifies structural variants with possible roles in pathogenesis and outcomes in severely ill COVID-19 patients using Bionano's saphyr system. The study found that optical genome mapping with Bionano's saphyr system identified structural variants that affect genes in pathways that control immune and inflammatory response, viral reproduction, and mucosal function. The authors believe these SVs may provide key insights into pathogenesis of COVID-19 and outcomes in patients who become severely ill. So I think there's a lot of factors that are helping the proliferation of optical genome mapping and gene sequencing in the medical sector, and we should be aware of them as it will help us make the right investment decisions. As gene sequencing will become normal in the world, so will optical mapping, because both of these go hand in hand. Anyways, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed the content, then smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next one.